Dad.
Yeah.
I love you.
Hey, buddy.
I love you, Dad.
I just want to tell you I love you. We're doing the podcast right now. We're calling our dads, saying we love them because I do.
You're listening to the Dear Buddies podcast.
You will grow from boys into men.
Whatever, dude.
What does that look? Don't get weird on me.
Hey, buddy.
For all those questions you can't bring yourself to ask your friends, ask your buddies.
Hey, buddies. Welcome back to another episode of Dear Buddies. This is a podcast where us three guys chat about what it takes to try to become a little bit more emotional and vulnerable as men in today's society. You guys look so pumped to be here.
We need help with your intro.
What do you mean my intro?
Your
This is
intro
our intro.
stinks. It stinks.
You look
Hey,
like
buddies.
You look like you have like gas. First of all,
Yeah.
like your head's like up, and it looks like you're gonna miscalculate.
Sorry for trying to be play to the camera. Sometimes you forget that we're filming this.
We also forget that Mike is the only one with legitimate TV experience, as he was on a hit show on BET.
What was the name of the show?
First of all,
The Game?
Before that,
The Game?
It's currently called The Game.
Aren't you still doing a podcast with us too?
Yeah,
you're
I'm
not.
doing
You're
a
not.
video
You're
podcast.
not great.
You're welcome for being here, by the
Yeah.
way. I let you in.
Mike was actually pretty good on that show.
Stop.
Mike, what? No, we're being good here. You were good on that show.
Did you
We're being sensitive. We're being men. We're giving you compliments.
But
You were
yeah, see,
good.
this is the problem.
You
and
were
this is
good.
the whole point. I do not like this.
Didn't you
You were
get?
good.
Didn't you get nominated for like
Okay,
an
now,
award?
now I'm getting
I
now I'm getting. Now
I thought the
this
show
is-
got nominated
See,
for.
you were
The
so
Wawa
close.
Award doesn't count.
You were so close to being nice. And
You
then
didn't get a Wawa Hoagie trophy?
Yeah.
buddy.
And the Wawa for best food goes to
First of all,
Michael Albanese for The Game.
I got a trophy for eating the biggest Wawa hoagie. It was not had nothing to do with the show.
Mike,
But
all right.
you were almost about
Mike.
to be genuine. You were almost about to be genuine, and then you had to make a joke out of it.
Mike,
And this is what the problem is. Why can't you just say to me, "Hey, you did a good job,"
I was being legit.
but then you had to break me off a piece.
No, I really
Always back to
legitimately-
Kit Kats
You
for
actually-
you. Always back to Kit Kats. It really, yeah. Every slogan is with food, Mike. I mean, geez, what are we doing here?
I'll be honest right now. I
Walked
got to be
right
honest right
into
now.
that.
A coffee and a Kit Kat sounds so good right now. I did walk right into that. Oh my! You know, it's so funny.
High blood pressure.
You know, it's so funny.
High blood pressure. Here we go.
You can't, how did you screw up pleasure twice? You said pleasure.
Listen, guys, I can't speak. We all know this here.
So, hold on, I got to tell you this. Becca recently has been calling me. She keeps saying, and this makes me insane. She goes, "Yes." She'll go, "Yes, my king." Like, she's goofing, and I'm like, "Can you stop?" Because even as a joke, that's very uncomfortable. And then I go, "Why do you keep calling me king?" And she goes, "Well, you have the gout, don't you?"
Oh, that's a good diss.
I was
That's a good
so
diss.
it was such a good burn,
Oh.
and she it was like a long burn. She kept saying, "My
Oh,
king, my king," and I was like, "Why do you keep calling him king?" She goes, "Because you have gout."
Yeah, you
yeah.
definitely.
You fuck-
If you live in 1500s or whatever, and you be king, you'd be dead before 35.
But yeah,
I'm 35 and toast.
I'm the farthest from royalty now, and I have gout. What are we talking
I
about?
know.
What would you be in the town?
the town, the village idiot.
No. What would you be if it wasn't today?
You know, the worst part is I didn't really get that joke.
hey, and that makes it a great joke.
Yeah. I'd be the guy that like everyone just does. Hey, do this. I'd be like, okay, okay, I'll do it.
That town wouldn't function.
No
Yeah,
worries.
yeah.
Yeah.
You were the
I'd break
blacksmith.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
He'd be
no,
the
it wouldn't
okie dokie Scopy. Give it to Christopher. He'll do anything.
You know, back in the day, by the way, the court jesters, if they bombed,
They
would
died.
They would be murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
But-
would still be a better set than most of
but-
Scopo's.
Every time he walks off stage, he just closes his eyes.
Imagine that. Instead of getting the light, they just bring in like one of those guillotines, and you're like,
They
oh
light a
dear.
cannonball. Shoot
Hold on. I got 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Hold on. I just keep
No,
going.
I didn't get the light.
Keep going, and after a while, goes, give it up for the troops, guys. Give it up for the troops here. Here we go. Give it up for the troops. Fighting in the crusade out there against the Muslims. Go, keep it going. Come on.
This guy's time
Muslims.
periods are all over.
They're fighting in the crusades. It was Christians versus Muslims. I think I'd be Christian.
I think this is a different era.
I don't think you know when
know
the Christians
history.
fought the Muslims.
No, you don't. You don't
in the
know history.
crusades. Yes, they were. They
Yeah,
fought.
You sure
how
it was
much-
Muslims?
Yes.
It wasn't.
No, he's
It
right
was
about that.
100%
He's right about
Muslims.
that. He's right about that. But I don't know
If he's
that
actually
was-
right about that,
My
I'm gonna
knowledge
be
goes
so
from Mets
mad.
players to history of the Crusades. That's about it.
I'll tell you why I'm so mad. Not
Google it
because,
right now.
Not
Google
because,
it.
No. It's not because I didn't know. It's because you knew and I didn't know. I'm
Well,
honestly,
Mike, I didn't start with a food. You know, if I would have said,
I don't even know.
if I would have said roast beef, you'd have been like, "I'll perk up." Here we go.
Talk about Arby's. You know,
Mike would have been like, Mike would have been the guy in the Crusades that goes, "Hey, it might be your last meal. Take it for you."
You know
Here
the
go.
you know the court gestures, by the way, with like they were the first ones that are only ones able to tell the king what was actually going wrong and talk shit, because they made fun of the king and made fun of like what was going on,
I
and
see
they
what
were
you're
at, they were it was like satire, but it was real. They could actually like talk shit about what the king's doing wrong, and nobody else could. Because how dare you say that to the
Because
king?
they would
because
through
it's a
comedy
goof,
and
because you're
humor.
goofing around.
You'd be a court jester. You would. You go to the king.
We all would be.
No,
We're
you'd be. No,
comedians.
you're the court
I
You
jester.
would be like a court jester / like horse. Like
I'd be the Trojan horse.
bad.
You would go to the king. Listen, king. Listen. There's 10 of us. 10 of them. 8 of us. The odds are 3-2 that we don't win. So I think if you place a little bet on that, you might get some shekels here. Okay.
Lines maker.
Lines maker here. Okay. What are we doing? You want to throw 8 to the wolves? We get a couple of shekels back though, huh?
Comedically, I'm proud of you,
Come
Scopo, for
on.
not saying I'd be the one to eat the food before the king to make sure it wasn't poisoned. Because that's what I would sign up for. What is this? Who? Everyone leaves. Oh, more for me.
The fact that you think you talk to a king is beyond me. They wouldn't let you in that front door.
Buddy, they don't think I was the king. 'Cause
They
I'd
go,
be- I'd be
"Ogre!
I'd be limping
Ogre's
in with
here,
my,
the
with my
ogre's here."
swollen feet.
No, they go, hold door. Hold door. He laughed because he watched Game of Thrones. That's right.
Cool. I can't wait for 5 more Game of Thrones references today.
They're gonna happen.
So what are we talking about today? Let's get into the biz.
Bring it up, Mike.
So we're talking about I think a thing that the guys have a hard time with, and a lot of things that men struggle with, like emotionally and vulnerability wise, is because our dads weren't necessarily the most vulnerable or emotional, and then their dads, it's like a systemic thing where men can't be like, they got to be tough with their boys, and then that like doesn't give us the opportunity to be like honest with like and we have to we go with the joke first, or we make fun of the thing, or we can't be genuine because it's just built. It's like built into our DNA to be, tough guys.
Mm-hmm.
So. The fact that the way you just said, yeah, you agreed. There's no way you were listening to a word I just said.
Not at all.
I was
I know
honestly-
what was going on in his brain. It was a pure Steven Seagal montage. That's all it was. He was like,
No, I was thinking in my head, what food can I burn him with?
But I would never burn food. If it did, I'd eat it.
I saw the moment he was
yeah,
lost.
I was, listen.
I look at him for confirmation. He goes,
Yep.
Jesus Christ. How is it that he can get such a laugh out of
It's called talent. Get on board.
not what that
All right? Get on board the train. It's moving, and you're behind me.
Oh, all right.
Mhm.
So anyway.
I'll start with my dad.
Well, yeah. So let's talk about.
Let's talk about our dads here.
And I think the goal here is for us to, like, what we're going to try to do is find, like, the source of that a little bit and just work through it and see if we can't find. And then at the end, by the way, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but I've decided the end segment here is
Don't
that
tell him.
Why
Let him
not?
stay.
Let
You
him-
know what? Preview it. Okay.
No. It's just you just realize that if I do say it, then it's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
Hold on. At the end of this show, so stick around for the end because we're going to, and they don't know we're doing this, but we're going to call our dads on the show, and we're going to tell them we love them, and that's it. And then we're going to see what they say.
I'm going to tell you right now, my dad.
No. Don't tell us. We'll talk
Okay,
about afterwards
okay.
what we thought.
I was going to predict what I
No,
know was
yeah.
going to do. Okay, that's fine.
But so stick around because that's going to be a good one, and I know exactly how my dad's going to react.
I can't wait to see that.
Oh, he's gonna open. Well, okay, we'll get there. It's gonna be very. I'm sweating. Okay,
I actually lost my phone. Can't call my dad.
I got Ralph's number. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Nah, I don't think
so
you
do I.
do.
I'll talk to Ralph. I'll give him a shout. Yeah, my dad's he's a tough guy, But
So let me pose the questions real quick, though.
Yeah,
So what we
fire
kind
away.
of thought was a couple of ways to dissect this concept is if there was things that we wish our dads would have done differently with us, like knowing what we know about who we are now and like our areas that we know we could be better. Is there something that we wish our dads would have done differently? Is there stuff that we wish that we appreciate that our dads did? And then if we ever have kids, how will we be different than our fathers?
I know how I'll be different. Not have kids.
But trust me, that's how your dad wishes he lived his life.
I know.
After you two.
I'm okay.
no, you're not a bad.
I'm all right. I'm an okay kid, you know. I could be a heroin addict on the street, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just an idiot.
But
you know?
at least then you'd have a reason to be at your parents' house all the time. Well, he's got nowhere else to go.
I did the other night. My mom was hanging out. We're watching TV and we're watching a movie. She's like, "I'm gonna leave." I go, "No, don't."
Is that your best friend, your mom?
Oh yeah, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
She's the best. What's
Yeah.
up, man? How you doing? Yeah, I was like, don't leave. Like, I have nobody.
So okay, so
A girlfriend. But
My-
don't have her over.
start with Ralph.
Uh-huh.
Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph.
Start with Ralph.
What about Ralph? You know, Ralph's a good guy.
Yeah.
Ralph's a good guy. No, what I would say, the different thing.
So what
Is that
is there?
he-
What do you think that your dad?
So my
You
dad,
wish he would have
they
done
were ra-
differently.
they raised,
I got a couple
They were
things he-
raised in a
Yeah,
time
hit you
where
with
it's
a
just like,
2x4.
don't talk over me.
Come on.
Stop talking over me.
Sorry.
They-
I wish he was a little violent with you. A little bit more.
Yeah, wait. What do we wish that their dad would have done differently?
A couple DDTs at Christmas.
pull out.
Okay, sorry.
The one thing is, well, there's multiple things, but like he was raised in a time where it's just like the man goes and provides for the family, and the woman takes care of the kids or whatever. And he never like not talked to me, but he was always just working. You have to make money for the family, and they did the basic things of like put me in sports. That's about it. I wish they would have.
Did he go to all your games? And
Oh
stuff?
yeah, he was a coach,
yeah.
but like, he went to every game and stuff. He was really good like that. But I wish they would have kind of opened me up to other things. Like I wish they would have like made me learn an instrument.
Yeah.
Something that
Something
play
to
the
push you
piano.
not towards comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish
not
that
towards
too.
the life I chose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like something.
Wait,
Like,
can I buy you a flute and then you never have to do comedy again?
that's the dream.
Like Will
I
Ferrell
just-
and
you know what-
Anchorman.
You know what the funny part was? I did during the pandemic. I bought a keyboard. I was like, I'm going to learn piano. I used it one time, and it's still in my closet.
I love how you never told us that.
Yeah,
this is
I-
the first- yeah,
I'm
I
glad you
bought
kept
it-
that to yourself.
I
Can I
bought
have
it.
it?
Yeah, you can have it.
I play piano
I
a
was
little
playing
bit.
with Seaver the other day. Seaver was hitting the buttons. He was playing with it. That's the most use it's gotten in a year and a half.
You know what though? I will say, my dad it's that way too. It's like he had a role to be a dad, and then he would do his like he thought that was like good enough, and it was amazing because he'd come, he'd make money, he'd provide for us, but then after work he'd go to bed.
Yeah,
till
so
like
tired.
6, and then he'd wake up the next day and he'd do it all over again.
See, also like my dad.
but he
also,
was a good dad too. But
It was also different. Like it was funny. My dad came home. Like the kids ran upstairs though, because like. He was just gonna come in and just I don't know, something was gonna happen. Like the basement was always a mess. So like
Exactly.
when he yelled at us for that, I remember when the
Exactly.
dad comes home, you run and the mom would be like, "I'll tell your father." That's the worst.
You know, it's funny when I go home to my parents now, they have a new garage door opener and it's silent, like you can't hear it. When we were growing up, and we could hear like the whole house would shake when the garage would open, and that was like Dad's home. Shit.
it was like a beaver
Yeah.
hitting his tail against the
The
water.
whole thing, and that sound, it's still like if I hear a loud garage door, I'm like, what's everything? Where's my stuff? Homework. Shit. Pretend.
Good thing you're not good enough to have a garage.
Yeah, really.
He's pumped about that one.
I was waiting for him to be quiet.
But yeah, that was the same. We all and I don't ever remember him necessarily being like angry when he got home.
Yeah.
But it was always like,
oh,
shit, Dad's
fuck,
coming
yeah,
home.
upset,
You
yeah.
know.
Also, like we talked, but like it was never like emotional. I remember, like the only time my dad was in therapy for a while because me and him, like I'd say maybe 7-8 years ago, almost got into a fist fight with each other, and like then he realized, he was like, oh my god, my kid might have been. I was gonna hit him. I was like real pissed off at him.
Was there a moment in your life? Because I remember from my dad where I think I saw in his eyes he realized he can take
Yeah.
me.
I think that was the moment where he
yeah.
realized because we got real each other, we got in each other's faces, and I was like,
That was only 8 years ago.
8-9 years ago, I'd
Wow.
say.
I was like
and
15.
well,
I
when
think-
not everyone was a Gigantor.
I think he realized.
Okay, we weren't born 7'2". God, he takes you a little older. So yeah, I remember, and then he started going to therapy, and that really he changed. After he started going to therapy, he's calm. My dad was a fucking loose cannon. He would just pop off any second.
Yeah.
If someone just the anger would go. He'd go 0 to 100 real quick. Drake.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and it was
So Leroy.
yeah. It's not food.
Mm-hmm.
So
He would. You know what's weird? Ralph is very composed.
because he's composed, dude.
Wow.
He goes to yoga. He sees a therapist. he's just more relaxed in his life. He realized that
I gotta
that anger was
See,
going to be a problem.
me and my dad almost got into a fight 10 years ago too. He never went to therapy. He started going to the gym. So I think he started training for the fight.
He saw you were going to take him, and he goes, never again.
yeah. That's honestly, he sent
He
me
started
a.
doing the Hail
He
Marys.
literally sent me a topless selfie the other day, and he's like, and he challenged me. It was like a promo video. He was flexing like this. I swear to
Jack.
God, I'll show it to you. I'm like, yeah, he's actually
This
jacked.
is a Canelo fight. That's my dad.
That's my dad. He's flexing in the mirror. I'm like, who's taking this picture?
See, I need to get, honestly, I would love for your dad to have a conversation with my dad, because recently I've been asking my dad to please get into therapy, because he's never been in therapy, and he's got like insane amount of trauma from like how he was raised and stuff, but also yoga, because they were visiting the city last week, my mom and my dad, and I had to like help my dad down the stairs, which was like down like to the subway and stuff. And he almost tripped and fell like 5 times. He kept being like, "Where'd that curb come from?" I'm like, "They're every block, man." And he kept knocking over on him. And I was like, "You should do yoga also." And he's like, he just gave me that, "Oh yeah, yoga." Meanwhile, he's like trying to stand up like this.
Yeah. No,
I'm
my
like,
dad's,
yeah. Not yoga's helping.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
No, my
sure.
dad's he's flexible. He goes to the gym like 2-3 times a week. Ralph goes to the gym 2-3 times a week. He does Pilates. He does yoga.
I keep picturing Goldmember
And-
when he puts his leg over his head. Just a Ralph in the basement.
Yeah.
He goes to pick up a trash check and then
Yeah.
puts his leg over his head.
Does a
If
Ralph-
the guy doesn't have his money, he just puts him into a downward dog.
That's so funny.
So, yeah, he's-
how what would have been like if you can you pinpoint one thing that would be different that you wish like changed when you were a kid?
What do you mean?
Like, how would you wish your dad would have raised you in a different way? Is there something you could say that you wish he didn't do it
Talk
this
to
way?
me more.
Just talk to you.
Talk
more.
to me more.
But
And they
more
weren't-
outside of just like
Yeah, the
sports and
sports
stuff.
and all that stuff. Sports, that stuff. And this is real deep, but like they never, they always did instill confidence, but I never like believed it. So I wish if I ever have a kid, I'm gonna instill more confidence in him, make him do stuff at a younger age instead of
like
just
stuff,
doing,
stuff outside
instead
of their comfort zone.
Yeah, instead of doing it for them, so they just get it done with or
Yeah.
whatever. Like they did with me, they like I get it done with. They make him do it, let him build confidence up, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Find his own confidence as
Yeah,
opposed to
find
like,
his own confidence.
Yeah,
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 That's something I think about this a lot. Is that like so? My dad was. What did you do? What did your dad do growing up? What was his job?
So when I was a young kid, he used to work for a cosmetic store. He was like the manager of a cosmetic store.
I wish that you were about to say that he was worked behind a counter. Like, let me give you a puff, a powder.
Dude, he has crazy stories. He met Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
'Cause
that.
They closed the store down for Michael
crazy.
Jackson.
Yeah.
And then he got fired. Remember, they got fired from there. They were like firing everybody. Whole big deal to do in the Scopo family. and then he started working for the garbage company in sales.
So
From
my
makeup to garbage.
Make up the garbage.
Wow.
that's one end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Right there.
Wow.
From selling beauty products to throwing them out. But like my dad can talk to a hole in the wall and will listen. He's
Yeah.
very good. Like
He
I
talks to
can't.
you.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah. The funniest ones are the ones that are the most true.
Yeah. Like he still talk. He calls me too. It's weird.
So my dad was and if you've ever met me, it makes total sense. He was a used car salesman. That's what my dad. I was raised by a used car salesman, and he. That was like he raised us like he was trying to flip a Dodge Durango, you know.
This car is good. This mic is good. It's good. It's got a few
it's got
miles
some
on it.
miles
It's got
on
a
it.
few
It's a little
miles
rough.
on it. It's a little bit, it'll
Gotta
get
take
you
it to
there.
the car wash, clean
Hey.
it up a bit. Are you gonna shit yourself? What are you doing over here?
My back hurts.
It'll get you to point A to point B, but it's.
He's gonna take a left-hand turn if he
Listen.
sees a nacho bar.
I'll tell you, it's a good starter car. That's what this guy is.
Yeah.
This guy's a good starter car.
Yeah, but he also my dad had no male father figure in his life until he was had kids. My step grandfather came, but he was already grown up. But his dad was a gambler and a drunk and all that.
Sounds like a fun
classic-
guy.
Well, if you ever seen me at a casino,
Can I have
you're
his number?
Well, listen, that's why I love to gamble.
He likes
I
to
love
get. He
I love
does.
the booze.
Remember when
He
to
likes to get
AC?
at it.
He liked to. He was just like, we're gambling today, boys.
I know it. I can feel my ancestors. Like if I see if I see the Tropicana, I'm like, take me there. I'm like a moth to it because I can feel all of my male ancestors just pushing me Michael, go to it.
You're gonna win. You're gonna win. You're gonna win.
Even my step grandfather. This is how my grandmother must have been attracted to this type because when he passed away, we were digging out his basement and there was just 100 shoe boxes just filled with all.
I thought you were going to say his grave. I was like, wow, you guys do funerals a little bit different there in Philly.
Hey, just put him in the basement. We'll be all right. Don't worry about it. We'll figure
Give him
it
some
out.
water.
You give him a couple waters, he'll be all right.
Yeah, put the Eagles game on. He'll like it. Go Birds.
But they found a ton of boxes with all the numbers he used to play and all the different,
His lotto
ponies,
tickets and
all
stuff
of them. Yeah, just every type of gambling thing.
He keeps that.
I guess he kept them all. I don't know.
See, I don't like my two grandfathers. My mom's father died when she was 8, so I never met him, obviously. And then my dad's father died when I was 5. So I really don't know. I don't really. I have very little memory of my dad's father, and I don't really know how he was really. I know he liked sports. I knew that. I just don't know anything else really besides that. I know he fought. I know he was in Hawaii during World War II, hanging out.
Yeah,
living the dream.
But that's my So my dad had no record. His dad disappeared. He showed up. He brought my grandmother from Germany and just kind of all right, enjoy it. I've told you guys this before, but he shared a bed with his grandmother till he was 15. That's a tough way to be raised. So he didn't have any.
It's worse than me and my mom.
He was working full time when he was 8. My dad. So it's just been work, build. It's always.
He shared a bed because he had to.
No, because he was in love with his grandmother. What are you talking
No, I
about?
thought he was a weird kid with the with your grandma.
Wait a minute. I've actually never asked him that. I wonder if he tells me that just to man up a little bit. But maybe he just was in love with my loved.
Not a lot. He
his
just didn't want to
grandmother.
be away from his mom.
No,
maybe
that was
he had,
that was his room.
Anxiety separation or something
don't
like
think
that.
so.
Separation anxiety.
Oh, whatever. I have dyslexia.
No, he
They're
should-
dumb. That's what you have.
You have dumb.
How did it turn back on me?
Let me tell you, Scopo. When they're funny, but when they're bad, they're bad.
It's 100% shots you don't take. All right.
God damn it with that saying.
So-
Kill somebody.
So
anyway,
your dad had a rough go. This poor
Yeah,
bastard.
and then he sold cars. That was he was good at it, and that guy again, he could sell a ice to an Eskimo. This guy.
You can't say that word.
Ice.
Inuit.
He could sell ketchup, popsicle to a woman in white gloves.
That one's good.
That's a good one.
Tommy boy.
Yeah, Tommy Boy. That's
Yeah,
a good
it's a
Tommy
good
Boy
one.
reference. And yeah, so he
But what do you wish your dad changed by you growing up?
So the one thing that my dad always
Besides
did.
diet.
Here we go.
Maybe
No.
get some celery sticks every once in a while.
I wish he introduced gluten to me.
Introduce gluten.
You think this guy knows what gluten is? He wouldn't know what gluten
It's
is.
bread.
It hit him in the face.
bread. You know, it's bread.
You think my dad gave me more bread?
No, less bread.
Oh, okay. I thought you said introduce
Like
gluten.
what gluten was.
Oh, you taught me about carbs.
Jokes are not good when you have to explain them, people. Okay.
What are you doing? Were you reading your YouTube
Just
reviews?
keep going.
All right, here we
Keep
go.
going. Keep going.
No, he never he was, and for my sisters too. He would not let us make mistakes. He would not let us do things because he would be like, well, no, you're gonna do this and this, and then that's gonna be a problem. So no, and he refused to let these type of things happen. He wouldn't let me go to my sister who wouldn't let her go to a concert because she said that it's like a standing room, and she used the word mosh. She goes, it's like a mosh of people, and he was like, that's it, no mosh pits for my kids, because he's like, well, there's gonna be a problem. He just never allowed us to make mistakes.
Okay.
Type of thing. If
Never
you
learn from experience.
Yes, exactly. I wish that he would have let me fuck up more, so that way I could have learned firsthand. And I think that as I became an adult, I intentionally did things or subconsciously did things that I knew weren't going to end well because I had never made the mistake before, and so I had to make that mistake in order to learn. I just wish earlier on I would have been allowed to fuck up more, or he would have been like encourage me to try things knowing that I could fail at it.
So you as a father, you're gonna, and if you have kids, and when
I'm just gonna start chucking them off of, off of roofs.
Well, you're gonna
deal with that.
just okay.
No, I think I'll if they want to do something, I go, oh, they're gonna screw that up bad. I'm just gonna let it. I'm have to
with
I
some
would
sort
like
of direction, though.
Sure,
Yeah,
but I would like let them do the thing. Like they didn't want me to play football because they knew I would get people get hurt.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
man,
but let me
the
just
high
play.
school coach must have been so pissed off at your dad.
Well, no, I played eventually.
Probably
Because finally they
recruiting
just
ya.
couldn't stop me. But
It's like he's 17 feet tall than everybody
Yeah.
else. We got to
Yeah.
get him in
You gotta
here.
get this kid
no, I
in
played
there.
baseball and I was good at baseball, better than some people. And no, not you.
Okay. Keep moving. Okay.
But yeah, so I wish I would
Division
I
one.
just wish he would have let me make more mistakes, because you learn from mistakes, and I don't think it took me a lot longer. And look, I'm still trying to be a comedian, so I mean that's a mistake I could have learned a long
You
time
got
ago.
2 mistakes right here you don't learn from.
Yeah, but he also, to talk to the other side of that, like he did a good job at it. Like he never stopped working. Like we went through so many different ups and downs as a family, like financially, and there were times where my dad because if he didn't sell cars, we had no money. My mom was working 2 full-time jobs, and then I remember there was a stretch there where my mom was also cleaning houses in her off time, and my dad would be delivering newspapers 4 o'clock in the morning, chucking papers out the window.
How long was this guy a paperboy for?
I don't.
Until he was 48.
I don't think it was that long. Because I think when he realized that he had to go. No, when we were I was probably 10 or 12. I was.
So he was a paperboy when he's 9.
Oh yeah, no,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
And then did he go back to the same paper?
He went,
and he
no,
was
no,
like,
no. This
I
is
need a gig back.
Yeah.
He came back. He goes,
Picking up the
still
old
hire-
route.
Can I get my
Get out of here, Timmy. You don't need the money.
He's 45-year-old man pushing a shopping cart.
Yeah.
No, he would do it in the suburbs as we moved to Georgia, and he would wake up at the crack of dawn. And I think the reason he quit is because when he showed up there, he also had to roll the papers and ban them and thing. And he was like, "I'll throw them out the window. What am I gonna? I got hands full of ink over here." But he did it for a while.
One
but
thing
it's
about that generation,
as much shit as I give my dad, as I get older, I realize how hard it was to raise a family when you don't have a college education, you don't you have no formal training in anything other than being good at jab and talking.
one thing about that generation though, they can always make money. My dad can
Yeah.
always make money.
Yeah.
He always can do something where he'll make money or learn how to. He'll figure it out.
Nothing's beneath you
Yeah.
if you have a need.
Oh, that's one thing he always taught me. He's like, don't ever get mad at. Don't ever, if a guy's having a job, no matter what the job is, don't ever look down upon him. He's working.
Exactly.
He's working
Yeah.
his
No,
ass
that's the thing. Yeah, my dad. I have respect for everyone that a janitor doesn't matter what you do.
If you're working, if a guy's working, he's working. He's trying to make a living.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
I have that too now, and I think you do too. Where it's
he also taught me there's hard jobs out there. When I used to clean the back of garbage trucks for $100.
It's a tough job.
That's not fun. It's not a fun. He wanted me to do that because he was like, I want you to know that go to school or do that because this is not fun. Sitting in an office is easy compared to working on a garbage truck.
My dad did do that. He did let me do really awful jobs to
Yeah, he liked that I would do that because he's like, this sucks. You don't want to do this for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Pav.
Pav, how many times did your dad fire you?
He thought about it every day.
Yeah.
Just as his son. This has nothing to do with the job.
My dad was he's an animal. He works I remember one time he had sciatica, always had back pain, and he would one time he was going to work. It was 6 in the morning. I have no idea why I was up, but I saw him open the door and just collapse to the ground, and Lieutenant Dan into his car and climb up.
Army crawl.
Yeah,
to go to work.
To go to work.
Oh,
I don't
that's
even know how he
gross.
drove. And I was like, this guy's an animal. And then he'd come home. Every time he'd come home, my shoes would be in front of the door. And I've never seen my dad enter a work or home regular. I've never seen him enter anything regular. He always has to come in snapping. I think that's how he's comfortable.
But he had you as a kid, though.
He had me as a kid. I was a little bit of a disaster, but he was always. I've never seen him calm. He always would come in full blast. What the hell?
He's always at
Why
at 100.
Yeah, always. I think that's how he is comfortable. Is snapping to enter. Anything.
You think that's his his
Yeah.
zero is being at 100?
Yes.
his natural resting
Yes.
state is snapping.
I've seen the man.
He's chilling at 75.
Yeah.
To be
I
fair,
always see him snap. I
The few
always see
times
him
I've hung
snap.
out with you and him, we were the prosecco story is still one of my favorite ones. We go to
He's a
we go to a
psycho.
bar and he asked for prosecco, and the lady goes, "Oh, we're out of prosecco," and he basically flipped tables. He
Yeah,
was like,
he was.
"How are you out of prosecco?" Like, we'll
Because
get
the
another
guy works
sparkling wine,
hard.
for
All he
Christ's
wants
sake.
is a
What do
little
we do?
prosecco. That's all he wants.
But he was yelling at the wrong person.
He was
yelling
the waitress. What is she?
She
Like,
doesn't-
oh, let me
she
sorry. Let me
doesn't
go. Let me
know
go.
what
She's
add some
taking the
bubbles
blame
to the
today,
Chardonnay.
sweetheart.
What are we talking
all right?
about here?
You're taking the hit today. Got to deal with it.
I saw my dad one time get into it because he always used to get in like almost physical altercations on a construction site. It's like the Wild West. You're fighting all the time. Every day the man was in a fight, and he would always have a little hatchet on him, like a little axe. And
Your dad, John
yeah,
Wayne.
he's a psycho. And because there's some big guys there.
No, my
too.
dad always has a little stick in the car. No, I swear to God.
But that's
I have
just,
stick
that's
in
just
the-
to get the shrimp tails out of the
Yeah.
back of the truck in case it gets clogged.
Just to get the banana peels out of his head.
Yeah. Can't mess,
touching it,
can't mess the
yeah.
hair up. Can't mess the hair up.
Well, I see my dad one time, like on a construction site, with this guy was talking shit, and he pulled out his little hatchet, and the guy went into his car or truck. He was a dump truck driver, and I guess he was installing his own faucet, and he pulled out a faucet, and then they were like squaring off in like it was like 7 a.m, and I was like, Dad, no. I was like crying. And he's like, "Shut the fuck up!" And
wait, this is in front of you? This isn't
Yeah,
a
yeah.
story?
No.
That is so
So
much
it's
better that
just
you were there for
two
this.
grown men encircling each other, one with a faucet and one with a sink faucet, and my dad with an axe, and then people would calm him down. It would never come to blows.
So do you know
one
what
guy
the-
got stabbed?
do you know
one time on the street. Not my dad. This one guy got stabbed. That was not good. That was not a good day. But never my dad. But he's always.
Do you know why they were fighting? This
Yeah.
particular axe throwing?
It's the dumbest thing. Like my dad was
Park
trying
in
to
the
get-
wrong spot or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
the guy was trying to like back. My dad was trying to get him to back in quicker. Like he was trying to line him up so they could back in quick and go. Back in quick and
Buddy,
go.
if I had an axe every time Becca tried to help me back the car in, I would have swung
Something
it at her.
stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, my dad is for me. My dad was always like he would tell me it would be too real when I was like a kid.
Yeah.
Like if I had a bad hockey game and I'd be like, "Can I have a Gatorade?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll get you the pink one." Because you played like a girl. I'm like, why you got to do this? Seriously. I'm like, I know I played bad, but
Oh, that's great.
I know he's crazy.
so good.
Yeah,
I'll get you the
he
pink
had no
one.
he has no filter. He has no filter. What? This is the best joke I've ever heard. I'm talking about ever.
Man,
From
it's nothing we've ever said. I promise you that.
it's not me. It's my dad. We moved into this new house because he had no filter, and our neighbor just had her dog die.
Yeah.
Right, and it got run. She ran it over by accident. A little dog.
That sucks.
And she was like, she was saying she was introducing.
I
herself.
love that this said it to a joke.
She was introducing herself, and they knew her a little bit. And then she told him about her dog and how she ran it over. And then she said, "Poor Muffin." That was the dog's name. And my dad's like, "Should have named her Pancake." And my mom was like, the lady started crying. I mean, still one of the best
I
jokes.
mean, 10 out of 10
It
joke.
is a 10 out of 10 joke.
10
Solid.
joke.
But
He's
he's
a solid bit.
but he wasn't even trying to. He was trying to be funny, but he
Should've
he
named her
has
Pancake.
no filter. Like he's never had a filter, but he's always been. So when I have a kid, I want to tell them when they're not good at stuff, so that they can either quit or try harder. But I'm gonna do it in a reasonable way, not in front of a bunch of people and like embarrassment. Like there's a way to approach a child when they're not good at something.
Where you can still instill the things that you want to get the point across to make them realize, but without like the negative effects of being like in front of your friends. I'll get you the pink one because you played like a girl.
Like
Yeah.
when I told him I was going to start doing comedy, he goes, "Oh, another thing, you're going to quit in 6 months." Like that's what he
Listen,
said.
he was not wrong.
No,
Like,
you
you had a good track record.
I should have done it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
the one thing he's upset you didn't quit.
unfortunately, I stuck around and have to see Scopo every day. But yeah, so he says stuff like that, which I know he's trying to push me, but there's a better way to.
Isn't that so?
It's
interesting
just how they
now,
were-
like how you're like when you see things that you do and you're like, oh, my dad was right. It happens so many times to me
oh,
now.
no,
A
there's
million
so-
times.
And I still fight the idea of how much I don't, how angry I am that he was right about everything.
Oh, my dad-
not angry that he was right, angry that I couldn't see it at the time that he was right, and also like I don't want to tell him that he was right.
No,
but I probably should.
There, you know what's funny? From the ages of like 16 to 24, I think I hated my dad. I like was just,
We
you're
all-
just-
I think
we
that-
all
I think
agree.
I did too.
You're just
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that, and then like after that, you realize, oh no, he was right about everything.
Yeah,
everything we
Yes.
argued about, he was 100% right.
100%.
Because
And
now you
I'm-
think about the idea of arguing right now with a 16-year-old kid, you're like, what could you possibly
Yeah.
tell me, you idiot?
Yeah.
Not only do
Yeah.
I know more than you, but I made you. You fool.
Yeah.
So I
It's
have,
hard
you
to
have
get- it's
my
hard to get-
brain, and I've known you your whole life, you absolute moron.
It really is hard to get yelled at by something that looks like you. It really
Yeah.
is like I'll just crush you. I'll just crush you right now.
You
My
ever seen
dad
your-
used to do this thing where he would shake hands like this. If he was mad at you, he'd make you shake his hand, and then he would like grind your knuckles together.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, that was brutal.
What's
It
one
still hurts.
What's
to
one
think
thing
about.
your dad taught you that you always will remember? My thing is he always never trust the guy with the limp handshake.
I don't think that was a lesson. I think that it was just a little bit of hate coming out of your dad.
No, he swear to God, I remember.
So give me a limp handshake. Show me
Like-
what a limp handshake is. That's
It's
gross.
not.
that sucks.
It's not firm. It's like that guy is he's not a firm handshake. You can't trust it.
See, that's interesting because I've like accidentally shook hands like this where, like, I'll not go in hard enough and they'll grab you like this, and
Yeah.
then you look weak even though
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
you
crush
squeeze
my
too
hand.
early.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
you squeeze
yeah,
too
yeah,
early.
too-
You gotta
yeah,
give
yeah.
it. You gotta give a. You can't crush. You gotta give a firm, but you gotta be. Hey, I'm here.
What
I'm
about
here. I respect you. You better respect me.
What
All right,
about
'cause
you?
I'm hitting the
What's
boxing bag in
your-
the basement.
What's like the one like a lesson or what was the question? What
One lesson that your dad
that
taught you that you remember.
I don't know.
I think mine is just a general sense of just always work hard at whatever you're doing. Work hard at it. I think that's just a general work ethic.
Yeah, my dad told me
That
that
I
too.
have.
I never really listened to that. That one I chose to
But hey, buddy,
not-
you got a great handshake,
Yeah.
but you're shaking nobody's hands.
Yeah.
just out there in interviews. Ah,
hey, Pa, it's a COVID time. There's no more handshakes. What do I do?
you bring a resume to the job? Ah!
I tell Siva that though. That's why he fucking punches you. Honestly, when Siva hits you in the this, that's me. That's Daddy saying, hey, you give a firm handshake.
You ever see your dad cry?
Oh, I'll tell you. Oh, the only time I've seen him. I've seen him cry a couple times. It's always over his father, but the worst one. This is how I remember my grandfather was. He had a heart attack and he died in his house on the basement floor. And I would remember being 5 years old, going down the steps, and my dad was like hovering over his father, like petting his hair,
Oh,
saying goodbye to him. That's the
that's sad.
That's like the
That
last time.
stinks.
Yeah, that's like the third, like the only one of 3 memories I have of my grandfather.
Oh no.
And then he cried at Field of Dreams too, which I always cry too.
Yeah.
Field of Dreams with having the catch part, that'll get you going.
Do you think that you cry because that's an emotional scene, or because you connect that with your
Connect,
dad?
oh,
crying?
definitely connect that. Yeah, definitely
Have you ever
connect
seen
that.
your dad cry?
When his dad died, and also I snuck up on him watching Remember the Titans, and he was crying, and he was like wiping his tears. And
Left
he was like,
side, strong
It's
side.
like the black kids and the white kids, they got along. And that was pretty much it, twice.
And you should have bet on the black kids the whole time.
I don't think I've ever seen my dad cry. However, I have heard stories of people I know that like. So the festival that I produce in Atlanta, he was the driver one year for all the comics, and there was a truck full of comics he was carrying around, and someone asked him, I don't know what they were, but he started talking about my mom, and then he just apparently just started like bubbling over on it, like just crying hysterically, talking about my mom.
Way.
Yeah, like, yo,
yeah.
Albanese family's
No, they were like,
weird,
your dad's
bro.
so cool, your dad's so sweet. He was talking about your mom, and he started crying, and like with joy,
What?
like happy crying. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen that man cry in my life. And he meets her, hey, how you doing? Oh, are you married? He starts losing his mind.
That is insane.
I don't think
I was
I've
in
ever
one
seen
of those
him.
cars.
You might, maybe you were the one that got him to cry.
No, buddy.
Oh,
He
you're
put
Alex?
cla- he
My
put-
son's doomed. You're his friend?
I just recall him putting classic rock very loud and just cruising.
Probably.
There was
yeah.
no tears in
sounds
that car.
about
It was AC/DC.
right. It was Tears for Fear. I'll tell you that right now.
Tears for Fear.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him cry. Has your girlfriend ever seen you cry? Or
No.
anyone you've ever dated?
Well, listen,
seen
he
you
had a
cry?
nice 6-game parlay one time. It didn't go well. and he was on the last leg, and he couldn't tell her why, but he had a good pay, and he was gonna pay a nice chunk of change, and then they hit the over.
Have you ever dated anyone they've ever seen you cry? A significant other?
First of all, we have to go back to have I dated anyone? And no, I almost cried in front of my last girlfriend, and then I didn't, and I told her about that, and she was like that.
The girl from
the fucking skank. And,
Jesus. She's a sweet young
skank.
lady.
Bad human being. And teacher,
This
she
is
drinks.
not reflective
She drinks.
of dear buddies.
Teacher, she drinks. She drinks as teacher.
She drinks
And
in class.
yeah,
Does she?
drinks. Yeah, I mean, listen, in my eyes, she does. And
By the way, this is a girl. This is the girl that you, the entire time you guys were not dating, you kept
No, we were
going,
dating.
I'm not dating. I
We
ain't
were-
seeing
No,
nobody.
that was a legit dating.
It was
That was legit dating.
All right,
It was
all
legit
right.
Yeah.
dating.
He would.
Did she? So she saw you cry?
No, I told her. I was like, I almost cried there, and she was like, "That'd have been so hot if you did."
Hot.
Yeah.
You
You know-
you almost cried.
Yeah. She has problems when she's like, "I want to see a guy cry."
No, she has problems. It's called being a woman. That's the only time I think that I've ever cried in front of a woman was with my current girlfriend. We were in Mexico and we were about to go out for the night, and there was that Adam Sandler special, the last one he just put out, where the end he does that Chris Farley song, and I was just sobbing watching Chris, like remembering how much I love Chris Farley with him, and she came out of the shower. She goes, "The hell did I just walk into?" And like, no other time would I cry, but like Chris Farley does it for you, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what you want to tell you. I'm stunted emotionally. Okay, well there was nothing really to that.
No, because we
No
looked
questions.
We
no-
looked
no
at each
follow-up?
other and we had so many jokes. I was gonna be like, the taco stand was
yeah, I
closed.
was gonna say, you got to the buffet late.
Well, then I guess I'm glad you didn't have anything to say.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't a word you said. All I heard was Chris Farley.
You hear the whole thing, he goes,
I was like, don't say jokes. Don't say jokes.
I almost cried at Casey Balsham's wedding when her
Okay.
dad did the speech.
yeah, that was a tough one.
That was a tough one. That was a
Yeah.
tough. I almost cried, but I didn't because I was looking around. I thought other people were gonna cry. If other people cried, I would have cried, but no one cried in my table, so I just kept it to myself. A lot of I put my head to the sky and just waited for the tears to
Just go
fall.
back into your
Yeah,
sinuses.
gravity takes over.
I've
Yeah.
I've almost cried probably about 10,000 times this year. Just the silliest shit will get me started, and then I just
I almost
nope,
cried when we
nope.
told him what the lease was here.
All right, so let's wrap up the theory behind this. We also we posted a lot of. I asked a bunch of questions. I posted this in a Reddit forum about if there's anything you wish your dad would have done differently raising you, what would it be? And I thought we'd get like 2 or 3 answers. Like, oh, I wish my dad was, around more. I wish he was more emotionally available. Got a little deeper than that.
Yeah. Some
It got
guys real
real dark.
People don't.
Some guy
hold
wrote-
back on the internet.
So it
Some guy
also,
wrote,
like-
I wish he would have stayed in jail.
Yeah. Well, one guy said, I wish he would have gone to jail sooner and
Yeah.
for longer. I was like, well, I guess my dad being a little bit not letting me make mistakes is put it into perspective.
Yeah.
My dad was all right.
Yeah, the internet will make you feel good about yourself
But
sometimes.
the interesting one, similar, taught me how to deal with failure. Smart guy, but he never was able to fail until his 20s. And then once he did fail, he didn't handle it well. So it took him, similar to what I was saying, like, let me make mistakes, man. Like, let me do the things that are going to screw me up because I need that lesson. Yeah. So, but there was some great stuff. I wish he went to jail sooner and longer. I have so much anger over the impact he had in my life, and I would be so much better off without him.
This guy's a good relationship.
I'm going to give that guy an award. This is on Reddit.
Oh, you're giving him an award?
I'm giving him an award
Oh, you're
right
going to give
now.
someone an award?
I'm going to give him. There we go.
There
He
you go,
deserves it.
buddy.
I don't know what that means, but oh shit, that's 2 awards. Oh,
He
no.
deserves
Oh,
to.
he deserves
deserves
to.
to.
Yeah, his dad went to jail.
And then someone says, "I feel you, bro." Exact same thing. Wow.
An agree on that jail thing.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And we'll do this from time to time, where we'll put some questions like this because we don't know everything, and we want to kind of being able to ask these type of questions, allow people to get these type of thoughts and emotions out. So it's kind of cool. A lot about emotional vulnerability, holidays, birthdays, anything would set him off with emotions. Anytime anyone made a mistake, he was awkward socially. It's tough. Oh, here's a good one. I wish he had loved me, wanted me around, could see my good points, and not be two-faced. etc. And a lot of upvotes and
Wait,
a lot of
which one was
I can
your
relate.
which one was your dad was awkward?
Me?
Over there. Which one was that?
I don't know. Oh,
Sorry,
this
your
one.
dad's a nerd, bro. Jesus. Sorry.
You're talking to the computer.
Yeah. Sorry, your dad's a
guy's
geek.
talking to
My
a
dad was
comment
awesome.
board.
My dad would talk to a hole in the wall and he'll listen.
But yeah, so it puts it in a pretty interesting perspective to be like, oh, well, this is, different. So, what would be if you were to wrap up like your thoughts about your dad, and let's encapsulate it with, what do you think you wish he would have done differently, and what did you like?
He is
Just real concise.
He's my hero. I would say that his negatives were because of a product of his upbringing.
Sure.
And it wasn't
I think
necessarily.
that's all of our dads, yeah.
Yeah. But I think he was a great dad, and yeah, just some stuff where, like Scopo said, like that role of being a dad, like he took that maybe too seriously. Not too seriously, but it was just like work, sleep,
work, sleep,
I'll drive you to hockey. And
Yeah.
Well, but then that other stuff, it wasn't as prevalent.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, same. I think I wish that he would have let me make more mistakes, but also like I have an incredible work ethic because of him. And my dad was a little bit opposite of normal dads, where he was very emotional. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Like,
Who has work ethic?
all right, relax. Look around you, dick.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
He did do this.
What about this? What you'll see when I say he's like. So I make the joke, but sometimes when people say like, "Oh, I wish my dad was there more," like, I wish my dad was too there, almost. He was like, wouldn't let you fall. Like he was that,
Really
a little bit. Yeah, he was like this. It's that same concept of like He was, don't make mistakes. I can't let you get hurt. So this and that. So I'll cover it all.
really.
Yeah, I think
And
we
then-
all did get lucky with dads,
Yeah.
though. I
No,
sat
we
there
did.
Oh,
being
my
like,
God.
oh,
So
I wish
great.
my dad. No, I definitely.
Yeah.
My dad's awesome. Like,
I
Yeah.
bust my dad's balls all the time.
Yeah.
And we have a great relationship, but they're like we butt heads like two goats on a side of a mountain. All right.
You know what my dad used to do?
His ears were smoking. He's like, I got so much to say about goats.
You know what my dad used to do though? He
You'd
used
be more
to.
donkeys if you two.
Okay, all right, there it is.
This is what this guy used to do, because he used to work on the construction site. He used to find like all these like little critters, like crayfish and like turtles and shit, and he used to bring them back home, and he used to like put them in the sink. And he'd be like, Alex, go wash your face. And like I'd go in there and there'd be a crayfish. And I'd be like, ah! And he'd like be waiting outside, just him laughing. Like obviously no phones back in the 90s. And he would love that. And now I still like twitch. And he's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, hey, you don't remember the crayfish?
What's wrong with me? You.
Yeah.
He had a snapping turtle he brought home and put it in a bucket. And he's like, told my mom, he's like, don't put your finger in the bucket. My mom's like, what are you doing?
I
He's
feel
psycho.
like though that's like. It's the things like that you don't even realize are going to stay with your kids that will end up doing.
I'm
You
going to
know,
do that.
like, oh.
That's like, I'm like, second I have a kid, I'm finding 48 crayfish and putting it in a sink. Like,
You know what's funny? Like, definitely also, like, it's funny how my dad was, like, always a hard person. Like, he would be tough guy. But once a dog came into the picture, he was just a lovable guy. That's where I got my love of dogs. So my mom didn't have a dog growing up ever. My dad, like, always brought dogs home. Always. That's why he always loved dogs, too. So seeing, like, him, like, cuddle with my huge boxer dog, it's hilarious to see. He calls him Mush. It's hilarious. It's like the cutest thing in the world to see him.
I don't think my dad likes dogs at all. I don't think he has any. This dog Rusty stole his shoe one summer, and he thought it was me and my mom. And then he saw it dangling from Rusty's mouth, and I swear to God, he put him in a full Sandy Koufax headlock and gave him 2 shots. Summer
That's not
'94.
Sandy Koufax, Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan.
He just popped him. Got his shoe back.
Well, we had a dog growing up, Nellie, greatest dog, like a rescue dog or whatever.
It's
But
not better than Seaver.
the first time as I saw my dad be a softie like that was because he never wanted a dog. He didn't have dogs growing up, and he was like, I don't want a dog. And then I come home one day, and the dog is laying. He's on his chair, laying down with his feet up, and the dog is on his like chest with her head right next to him, and he's just patting her belly. He's just like sitting there like asleep, petting her. I'm like, oh, this guy loves the dog.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do what we promised from the beginning, and I wish I would have forgotten about this because I really regret pitching this idea. But we're gonna call our dads. You got your phone, big guy?
Yes, I'm fine.
All right. So we're gonna call our
One at a
dads.
time, I'm assuming.
Huh?
One at a time. You both.
No, at the same time.
You have your phones out. Like
I'm
you're
doing
both.
it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it first.
Are you? Oh, okay. So put it on speakerphone and put it up to the mic, and just keep your Luca. Keep just hey, do the thing you already know what to do. So you're just gonna tell him you love him, and then see how.
I
he
hope he
reacts.
Are you gonna tell him on the podcast or no?
I hope he doesn't pick.
No, just say it.
Just quick, like Dad, I love you.
Yeah, and then shut up.
My stomach hurts.
I'm so nervous for you. I'm gonna back out.
Please don't pick up. 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 Please don't pick up. Please don't pick up. He's busy. Yes. It's 4 rings.
That's over. All
His
right.
back went out on him for sure.
All right. I'm gonna get mine ready.
Mine's definitely gonna pick up too.
Oh, mine will too.
Hello.
Dad,
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah. Okay. That's the opening line.
I love you, man.
Okay. Me too.
Yeah, that's nice. All right. Yeah, you're.
Drunk?
I'm not drunk.
Are you drunk?
No, I'm not drunk. We're doing the podcast. You're on the podcast, and we were talking about dads, and we were just all talking about how much we love our dads, and I'm calling you and just to tell you I love you.
Oh, all right. Okay. Thanks. Me too. I love you too.
Ah,
Did you
that's
get my
nice.
email about the place?
What?
Did you get my email?
What email? You keep sending it to Pavone778. That's been my email in 2002. You got to send it to the right email. No, it's not Pavone778 no more.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Call him back.
Whatever fucking popped up. I don't know.
Okay. I'll talk to you later. I love you.
Okay, what do I have to send? To which one do I have to send?
AlexPavone16@gmail.com.
Well,
That's
this
been
has
my
turned
email.
into a
Okay,
business,
I'm sorry.
a business
Okay,
call.
love you.
this part out.
Bye. Good guy.
The funny, he goes, "What are you drunk?"
Does my dad have an accent?
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Does it have an
yeah.
accent? Is that what you expected? What did you think was going to happen?
Something like that.
I think that at the point of this is obviously this is uncomfortable and hopefully good content, but also like tell your dads you love them,
Yeah.
even if they don't want to hear it. Just tell them.
Especially after the year that we had.
it's
so.
Families are torn apart, especially politically and shit. So just tell your dad
Yeah.
you love them. You know. All right. Am I doing mine?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm nervous because I know exactly how this is going to go. He's gonna. Oh God.
Just call him.
All right.
I think he's
Oh,
going to. What do you think? Okay.
Is good, Luca?
I'm so happy I'm done.
Hey, buddy.
I love you,
Mike?
Dad.
I love you too. What's the matter?
Sorry. All right. That was very funny.
What did I miss?
No, nothing. We're doing the podcast and we're talking about our
very
dads.
cool.
And we said at the end of the show we're gonna all call our dads and just tell them we love them and see how they react. And then you saying I love you too. What's the matter?
Well, you never initiate. Well, you do sometimes when we're in a conversation. But as a general rule, that's not something we say. We do say it to each other, which I'm very happy about. So, but are you recording this?
No. This is the test round. Yeah, I'm recording it.
Okay. So, how far out are you?
I'm still doing the podcast as I just mentioned a minute ago.
No, I got you. I guess I was just looking for an ETA.
I'll call you later.
Okay, cool.
All right, love you,
All
Dad.
right. Am I going to hear this?
Sign up for the Patreon, you will.
Yeah, sign up for the you can pay the monthly.
Oh, I gotta sign up. Okay, sounds like a plan.
All right, I'll
All
see
right,
you
buddy.
soon.
Love you.
All right, bye. Love you too.
How does your dad's accent get thicker?
What are you talking
He
about?
got so Philly.
Because he's been in Philly for like a week.
It's just back to the roots.
Oh my God.
It's unbelievable.
right, I gotta call.
I know.
I gotta-
Hold on. So that went probably how I thought. He's going to be jovial when he picks up, and I assumed he was going to because anytime that there's anything slightly off in a conversation, he immediately goes for the worst case scenario. He's like, "I love you, Dad. What do you mean you love me? What's the matter? What happened? Where are you? What do you set me up
That
for?"
sort of makes sense about how you were describing him. Like if you were gonna fall, he was gonna catch you.
Yeah. Oh, ha, ha, oh, ha. Yeah. That's okay. Here we go.
That was nice.
That was nice. Yeah, he's a good
Yeah.
guy. But immediately, I'm recording the podcast right
just
now. He's like,
backed our
let's have a
fathers.
conversation. Your dad picked up after a bunch.
I don't think he's answering. Not
Let
answering.
it go. Let it go.
Hi, this is Ralph. After the tone.
Your dad sounds like a cartoon character. Is this Ralph?
We
Because Ralph,
I
got all your recycling needs and your makeup.
Yeah, you know. I got away with it.
Well, I don't think this is fair at this point.
No, Ralph's got to call back. But
Yeah.
I love his answering machine. He does sound
Yeah.
like a cartoon
This
character.
is Ralph.
And he never answers his phone. Like, it's
You said he would answer right away.
because we were talking today. That's why. So I thought maybe he would answer since we were talking about the car. So that's why I thought he would answer.
If you need a pickup, press 1.
Yeah.
If you need rouge, press 2.
and if you're calling because we missed the stop, I ain't calling you back. Oh, it's so funny. We never answer phone calls in the car. I get calls every morning. I just
Call him again. Maybe 2 calls will get him.
2 calls will get him.
That's how he knows. That's how he knows something's wrong. Would you get another accident, Scopo? I love that your dad calls you by his also last name, Scopo. Now it's an emergency call because it's 2 calls.
he's shaking people down.
Wow. Oh, well, we're gonna miss the Scopo call.
We're going to need.
Hey, what's up, Dad?
What's up, Chris?
I just want to tell you I love you.
That's so nice. What'd you go, therapy?
No. We're doing the podcast right now. We're calling our dads, saying we love him because I do.
All right, I mean, I love you too, and I didn't go therapy.
What do you say? I'm sorry. What do you say?
I said I love you, and I didn't go to therapy either.
You know, we're both not in therapy. We're saying it.
Well, either we're both not in therapy, meaning that maybe we're fucked up, or we're both the same.
I mean, I think we're both the same. I think that's how it's definitely both the
So
same.
we're both fucked up then.
Yeah, we're both fucked up. Yeah.
All right. That was very kind of you.
All right.
What
Talk
do
to
you
you.
want, money?
No, I don't need money. I'm good.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, thank you.
Oh my God.
You gotta stop it. You're dying over here.
I couldn't. What do you want
I
to do?
couldn't hear the
I'm gonna
guy.
Throw
That
up
was
on my
incredible.
shorts.
That was incredible.
What are you in therapy?
Yeah.
You just go to therapy? You need money.
That was actually
That
pretty
was very
perfect.
sweet.
That was nice. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad we did that second call.
Oh yeah.
All our dads were excited and happy that we did that.
And unshocked. Shocked.
They
but
were all
also-
shocked.
And I
Shocked.
think it's because generally, like, guys feel like they can't show that type of emotion. But as much as it hurts, and it was emotionally draining to do that, and hilarious. Your therapy.
Yeah. Put that in the clip,
Mike,
Luca.
Mike, what's wrong? Everything okay? Yeah, that was great. All right. Well, listen.
That was fun.
That was good. A fun way to end. Thanks for listening to Dear Buddies. And what do you want to plug? Anything?
Nothing.
No, we got to
What's your thing?
plug the Patreon.
Patreon, the Patreon.
Plug the Patreon.
Go to patreon.com/DearBuddies. Sign up.
But
Dear
Dear
Buddies-
Buddies podcast.
Sign up. We have 3 levels on there: 5, 10, 25. And sign up. You get more for the 25, obviously. 10 is good. 5. Come on, what are we doing? $5. Come on. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna buy in this city
He's
with
got to keep telling
$5?
his dad he loves him so he can keep
Yeah.
cutting him off money.
$5. What do you want me to buy? Half of something? No. Come on.
We do
Okay.
a bonus episode every week of our
Every week.
old podcast called Sweet Buddies. There's also a huge library there that's only for the Patreon.
Plus,
of
if you
of
sign up-
hundreds of episodes that we've done in the past.
Sign up. We're going to call your name out on the podcast, give you a nice shout out. And if you sign up for a little more, we might call you. Say what's
Yeah.
up.
How
you
about a
doing?
picture of your ass? Is that a thing still?
If you
No.
get 25.
Picture of your ass?
I'll do a picture of my ass, 25.
So yeah, sign up for that. Follow us on Instagram, on everything, Dear Buddies Podcast, and we've got all kinds of fun stuff. And we got a bunch of really great guests coming up, and on the YouTube as well. YouTube.com. Subscribe. Just type in Dear Buddies Podcast, because at the moment that we're filming this, we don't have enough subscribers to have a name. But if you follow us on Instagram at Dear Buddies Podcast, you can find the links to all that stuff. It'll all be in there. So do that. And yeah, subscribe on YouTube. And if you're watching this video, like it, subscribe, all that stuff. So it just helps us grow and get more people. and hopefully we can help more guys become better.
Yeah, and if you subscribe, my dad won't ask me that I needed money from him.
Yeah, you can start.
And-
you can start asking him, does he need money?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be nice.
All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.
Bye.